by employing a unique impact-absorbing net design to catch and safely cradle a person as well as tools that may accidentally fall through an otherwise unprotected and hazardous floor opening. Before attempting any of these installation steps, please view this entire video and read all material carefully to assure that the finished system meets all OSHA safety standards. The installation of your Baynet's safety system will require basic hand tools, 2 installers, and in most cases the services of a certified welder. The tools required include tape measure and marker, 2 vice grips, 2 wrenches, a torque wrench, cable shears or an angle grinder, as well as protective gloves and safety glasses. In preparation, be sure that all flammable products have been removed from the service bay, and that all paint, grease, and debris have been removed from the areas to be welded. 1 Baynet is typically supplied for each installation. Divided or extra length service bays will be supplied with 2 safety nets, 2 wire cables and 4 cab lugs, 2 loose and 2 already attached, 1 to each cable. Mid-bay pad eyes with snap hooks. 4 or more sets of pad eyes and snap hooks may be supplied, depending on the length of the Baynet system. 6 wire rope clips, 2 thimbles, 30 quick links, 4 spring snap hooks, and finally 2 turnbuckles. Note the eye end and the jaw end. If you have any questions, you may call us toll-free at 1-800-331-0731. While it is standard practice to weld the cab lugs and pad eyes to the side wall of the service bay, some installations require that they be fastened into concrete. Special adhesive anchored cab lugs and pad eyes with threaded ends are available for this type of installation. Simply drill an anchor hole. Clean, apply adhesive, and then insert the threaded anchor into the concrete sidewall. Note that it is important that the cab lugs and pad eyes be secured as close to, if not above, floor level to help ensure best performance. Begin on the entrance end of the bay. Grind the areas to be welded of paint or rust. Weld the number 1 and 2 cab lugs with the cable attached to the upper right and left corners in a horizontal position. Now, proceed to the opposite end of the bay and weld the number 3 and 4 cab lugs in a horizontal position to the upper right and left corners with the chamfered corners facing out. Weld the mid-bay pad eyes to the side walls of the bay in line with the corner cab lugs. Space the pad eyes evenly with no more than 15 feet spacing between pad eyes. Attach an 80 mm snap hook to each welded pad eye. These are the smallest of the supplied snap hooks. When you have completed step 2, the cab lugs and mid-bay pad eyes should be positioned as shown in the main diagram of the printed instructions. Unscrew both sides of the turnbuckle to within 1/2 inch of its limit. Attach the jaw end of the turnbuckle to the number 3 cab lug. Twist open a thimble and attach it to the eye of the turnbuckle. Using 2 pliers, twist the thimble closed. Attach the second turnbuckle and thimble in the same manner to the number 4 cab lug. Run 1 cable assembly down the length of the bay and through the mid-bay snap hooks. Pass the cable through the eye of the turnbuckle and pull taut. With tension on the cable, mark the cable where it passes through the eye and thimble. Release the cable and remove the turnbuckle from the cab lug. Pass the marked cable around the thimble. Slide 3 wire rope clips over the free cable end. Position the horseshoe portion of each clip against the dead side of the cable and secure with a 9/16 inch wrench. Reattach the turnbuckle to the cab lug. Tighten the clips to 30 foot-pounds using a torque wrench. Trim excess cable using shears or a rotary cutoff grinder. Run the second cable down the bay, following the same assembly method. Note that the wire rope clips should be checked periodically for safety. Tighten each turnbuckle with 2 wrenches, turning with one wrench while holding the cable stationary with the second wrench. When you finish, there should be approximately a 2-inch deflection when moving the cable up and down in the middle of the cable. Now you are ready for the final steps, attaching the net to the cables. Lay out the net and attach quick links to each side of the net, spacing them about 15 inches apart. Leave them unfastened at this time. Lay the net parallel to the bay, and from inside the pit, secure the net to the cables one side at a time by fastening the quick links around the cable. Repeat this process for the other side. And finally, attach 2 spring snap hooks to each end of the net. Secure them to the cables and cab lugs at both ends of the bay, and your bay net is installed and ready for use. After the vehicle has been guided in and comes to a complete stop, the lower bay technician will enter the bay, unfasten the spring snap hooks, and slide bay nets to gain access to the vehicle. Do not open the net beyond the rear bumper of the vehicle to ensure that any opening to the rear of the vehicle and the end of the bay is protected. Following installation, your bay net's safety system should be checked on a regular schedule for tightness of all cables and clamps. The netting should be replaced if it becomes torn or stretched. Now, make the use of bay nets as part of the standard order of operations to limit liability, assuring safety for both your employees and customers. All bay nets items must be used to meet patent standards and to validate the warranty, so make no substitutions.